everyone, it's Jane. We've reached the end of November, so this is currently inked for week 4, and then we'll be heading into December. I can't believe time is flying like this. And so we are up to the T's in my fountain pen collection. I showed some last week that were T's, and we're continuing on with that. So we have a lot of Twsbis, and these aren't all my Twsbis, which I will show as soon as I get through the 7 pens I'm using for this week. So the inks that I'm featuring this week are Laban inks, and then I also have a Diamine Forever and an Esterbrook ink. So let's go ahead and get into my currently inked and what inks, what pens, all that stuff. So day 1, we have a Tom's Studio fountain pen, and I wanted something with a little bit different nib, and I found one that was an Architect nib in here, but it's a double broad, and man, it writes big. So this is the pen. It's a metal pen, and it does have a double broad Architect on it. So that's what that looks like. And I don't have an ink converter, cartridge converter, so I just put some ink in a cartridge with a syringe. And we are going to be using this with this particular pen, Laban's Hera, I guess you would say it. It's dark green. This is the Laban, oh, what's the name of the collection? Hang on. Greek Gods, I believe. Or maybe it doesn't have a name. Anyway, I got all of them in this particular collection. So Hera is the first one, and hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm still going to be using my Dominant Industry ink muddler for these. So we'll get a look at the ink. I haven't used my Laban inks in a while, so it was good to break these back out again. So get ready for a big old juicy writer, because here it comes. Okay, so this is Tom's Studio Pocket fountain pen, and it's a double broad Architect. It's a little bit thinner downstrokes, thicker side strokes or cross strokes. There's our figure 8s, and it's inked with Laban. Either Hera or Era, don't know. Should have looked that up before I got on here. But y'all know me by now. I don't usually do that. So this pen is very lightweight. I like, the only thing I guess I don't particularly like about it is it's metal. That doesn't always feel the nicest to me, but this one's not bad. It's a nice weight. It feels, writes really nicely. It writes really big. So that's Tom's Studio. And moving on, day number 2, we have, get my sheet out here, Turnt Pen Company, and this is Orwell 13. I don't know if Orwell is the model or Orwell 13 is the model, and I didn't write down the colorway or something. So real pretty blue, turquoise blue with purple swirls. You can kind of see through the resin here. I've had this pen a while. I've had it since 2023. So I'm really grateful to have it. I have a Kirk Spear nib on here, and it is a medium cursive italic. I'm sorry, medium cursive smooth italic. And this one I have inked with Hermes Sky Blue, or Hermes. How about that? You like that? How American of me, yeah? Oops, gotta move my pen, get that, so I can get that swatch down there a little bit better. Okay. Turnt Pen Co. Orwell 13, and it's a cursive smooth italic. Started with a medium nib and then put a cursive smooth italic on that. And this one has thick downstrokes, narrow cross strokes, and just gives your writing, I think, just a little bit more flair to it. So this is Le Bon. Sky blue. I think that ink comes out really nicely in this pen. So it's a lovely pen to write with. Where'd my cap go? There we go. So that's day number 2. I didn't show you the top and the bottom of it. Okay, day number 3. We're getting into the Twsbis now. I love Twsbi. I've had these Twsbi pens for a long time. I've not had any problem with them whatsoever. I know some people have had some things cracked and all that, but I've never had a problem. Okay, so this one is Twsbi Eco Rose Gold. Looks like it's white and it's got rose gold hardware on it. Piston filler, holds a ton of ink, and this one I have in a 1.1 stub nib. I really like Twsbi stub nibs, as you'll find out, because I have a lot of them. This one I have inked with Aphrodite pink. Still Le Bon. I like this color. It's like not quite pink. It's kind of a dusty pink, but also got kind of a little brown, kind of a little gray as it dries. Just really pretty ink. Okay, so this one is Twsbi. See how much this writes. Eco. I'm just going to put rose gold. And it's a stub nib. And it is a wet writer. Thick downstrokes, narrow cross strokes. Le Bon. Aphrodite. This is pink on there. So that is Twsbi. Okay, next one. So this would be day 4. We have another Twsbi Eco. This one is the clear, a Twsbi Eco Clear, completely clear. And I have this nib is also a Kirkspear grind, and this one is a medium imperial. So that is his specific grind that he I don't think he invented it, or maybe he did, but that's kind of his signature grind. I have this inked with Apollo orange. I got these inks right when they came out. Can't remember where I bought the ink from. Maybe that's something else I should track, is where I've purchased my inks from. And I've had some trouble with some inks changing colors, so I'm not quite sure if you order this, whether it will not be the color I put on here or not. I don't know. So it would be interesting to find that out. Anybody that has done that and your inks look different than mine. So Twsbi Eco Clear. And this is a medium imperial grind. So it has just slightly thicker downstrokes. And it's just not a ton of variation, but you will notice it when you write with it. And this, what did I say, Apollo orange. I really like his imperial grind as well. So there is that. Next one up, another Twsbi. And this one is eggplant color, Twsbi Eco eggplant color. I have this one inked, it's kind of permanently inked at this point, with Diamine Forever Smoky Mauve. Oh, and this one has a monoline. It's a medium monoline grind by Kirkspear. And yes, I will be making another video of my Kirkspear grinds using a darker ink, so you all could see. I had a request to do that, and so I will be doing that soon, hopefully within this week, if not next. Okay, so Twsbi, you can see how this writes completely different than that one. Eco eggplant. And it is a medium monoline. I would have to say a monoline to me writes like a marker. And then the different you know, whether it's a fine, medium, or a broad, will just give you a little bit more or a little bit less ink. But it does write very, the lines are pretty equal. Okay, Diamine. But it just feels like and writes like a marker. At least that's what I think. Diamine Forever ink. Smoky Mauve. Okay, so that is that one. Next one up, we have two more, is also Twsbi Eco. This is transparent yellow. And this one I have another Kirk Spear grind on. And this one is a fine, started with a fine nib, and it's a posting. So you can see the nib is turned down kind of like a Concord, but not quite as abrupt. And it writes in reverse. This will be a little bit thinner when you write with it regular, and then when you reverse it, it'll be a thicker line. And I'm sure he needs either a fine or extra fine to do that particular grind on. I'm sure it's because he's got to bend the nib. So this was with Athena Gray. Oh, that still got some smoky mauve on there. So yesterday I did a clinic with my spooky horse Winston, my big Shire. And I can barely walk today. I'm just so sore. It just took every ounce of strength I had to do what the instructor was having us do. And I was flailing around, and he was wonderful. But anyway, I'm sore. Okay, so this one is Twsbi Eco Transparent Yellow. And it's a fine posting nib, or grind, sorry. So I'll write in regular, it's just writes like a fine nib. And then if you turn it over in reverse, you'll get thinner downstrokes, but really thick cross strokes. And you can get them thicker by whatever ankle you're holding it at. See how different that is. And this is with Le Bon. I'll write regular here, and we'll write in reverse here. Athena Gray. Kind of a fun nib or grind to play with. I like that a lot. Okay, last one is, I think it's the newest colorway out for the Ecos, and this is Plum and Onyx. It has the black or onyx hardware and an onyx colored nib. This is also a Kirk Spear grind on this one. And this one is started with a broad, and then he put a spear point on it. So it writes very fine on this side, like a fine nib, and then reverse puts out a thicker, kind of similar to this, but different. And I can't quite tell you exactly how different. And this is Esterbrook Pigeon Poop, which is one of their newer inks as well. Put the lid back on that one. Okay. So here is Twsbi Plum and Onyx. I spelled that right, didn't I? Yeah, and it's a broad spear point. Okay, and then I'll write. So in the regular writing is just, it's a finer, gives you a little bit more feedback, I would say. And then on the reverse, a lot more ink comes out. I find this a little bit more controlled than that one on the reverse. It's just very smooth, very consistent. So this is, let's go regular again. Le Bon, oh, no, Esterbrook. See if I can save that. Esterbrook. Close enough. And this is Pigeon Poop. Okay, there you have it. Now let me, while this ink is drying, I'm going to show you my other Twsbi collection pens that I have in my collection, just for interest's sake, and also to let this dry for a minute. So hang on a second. Let's get my other tray out. I know the background on this is distracting, but hopefully you can just bear with me. So I have the Twsbi Eco in Saffron, and this is a broad monoline. I could probably let me show you how. This one has ink in it, the others do not. But a broad monoline is much, I think it's much bigger than the medium monoline. Maybe it isn't, but it seems like it at times. Yeah, a little bit. Not a ton. But anyway, so this is the saffron colorway. This one is glow in the dark green, and it does glow in the dark. This one, oh, and I have, what nib is on this one is a stub. And then this one is the, get that out of the way again. This is just green. I think it's just called green. Could be mistaken. And this one has a fine nib. One of my very few fine nibs, but this one writes lovely. Then I have a Twsbi Mini. This is a mini vacuum fill. And this one I have a stub nib on. I ended up buying the other miniature pen because I liked the stub so much, but I hated the vacuum. I had such a hard time cleaning it out, and it's still not entirely clean. So they're a little bit different in size. So this is the mini, the diamond mini. A little bit different in size, but not by much. So diamond mini. And this one has a stub nib on it. You can post, but I choose not to. I think it screws in, does it? Yeah, it screws on there. So that it, very comfortable. And then I have the, this is the Twsbi Diamond. This is, let me get my information sheets on that. Hang on a second. So yes, a Twsbi Diamond, and this is in Prussian blue. This one I have a medium nib on. This one has a metal grip. It is textured, so you can feel the little grooves here. I personally don't like the feel of this. It feels very thin to me, whereas the Eco itself has a more of a, it's got a little bit of a triangular grip on it, but this one, it doesn't, it's the same diameter. It just doesn't bother me as much. This one does bother me. So I don't tend to write with this one very often. I love the color of it though. And then my last extra that I'm not going to write with this week is the Twsbi Kai, K-A-I. It is a limited edition. And this one is in a medium nib. I love that it has an ink window. And this one writes really nicely. I should probably have it in my lineup, and maybe I'll write with this one next week. I just have so many pens to get through that I tend to just pick the special grind ones. So anyway, let me see how dry the ink is, and I'll show you the swatches as they're dried. So I'll be right back. Okay, close enough. Here we go. I'll hold that up there. There is the Hera. I'm so sorry. Hermes, Aphrodite over here. Apollo orange. The Diamine Forever Smoky Mauve. Here is Athena gray. That's real wet still. And then Pigeon Poop of Esterbrook. As this one dries, I remember seeing a little bit of sheening and kind of a red halo around it. It is a darker gray. It's really pretty coming out of a pen, especially a thicker pen like this. It'll turn out really pretty. So that's the inks. Let's take a look, one more look at the pens, and then I'll let you go. So here we go, Tom Studio pocket pen. Just so you can see it again, uncapped. I imagine you could write with it. Well, it'd be a little challenging to write with it without the cap on the back. This is Turnt Pen Co. Orwell 13 is what I have written down for that pen. Maybe something completely different, but Twsbi Eco White and Rose Gold. Twsbi Eco Clear. Twsbi Eco Eggplant, Twsbi Eco Transparent Yellow, and then the Twsbi Eco Plum and Onyx. So that's what I got lined up for the end of November, and then I should have the Kirk Spear video coming, grinds coming out soon, so you can look forward to that. I don't think I have anything else in the works at the moment, but love suggestions, love your comments. Please, if you have not subscribed, I'd love it if you would. I'd love it if you would give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and I welcome comments, so feel free to reach out to me that way. So appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.